My name is Jonah, and this is the story of how I faked an injury to escape the relentless grind of work. It all started with a simple idea born out of desperation and exhaustion. I worked at a bustling tech startup in downtown Seattle, immersed in a world of deadlines, meetings, and endless cups of coffee. The pressure was relentless, and the burnout was beginning to take its toll. Every morning felt like a battle to drag myself out of bed, knowing another day of stress awaited me at the office. One Monday morning, I woke up with a sinking feeling in my chest. The weight of my responsibilities bore down on me like a lead blanket. I stared at the ceiling, dreading the thought of facing another hectic day. As I dragged myself through my morning routine, an idea began to form in the recesses of my mind. I had heard stories of coworkers who had taken a few days off due to minor injuries. They returned refreshed, rejuvenated, and seemingly no worse for wear. What if I could do the same? What if I could take a mental health break without raising suspicions? The opportunity presented itself during a routine team meeting. As we discussed upcoming projects, I noticed a loose cable dangling precariously from the ceiling. An idea sparked in my mind. During the lunch break, I discreetly pulled the cable down, making sure it was visible but not too obvious. That afternoon, as I was walking back to my desk, I strategically positioned myself under the loose cable. With a well-practiced stumble, I reached out and grabbed the cable, letting out a theatrical cry of pain as I fell to the ground. My colleagues rushed to my aid, concern etched on their faces. "Are you okay, Jonah?" they asked, helping me to my feet. I winced, clutching my shoulder dramatically. "I think I dislocated it," I groaned. "It hurts like hell." My manager, Sarah, appeared beside me, her brow furrowed with worry. "We need to get you to the hospital," she said urgently. The next few hours blurred into a whirlwind of hospital visits and medical examinations. I played my part convincingly, exaggerating the pain while secretly reveling in the temporary relief from work. The doctor diagnosed a minor shoulder strain and recommended a few days of rest. Back at home, guilt gnawed at me like a relentless hunger. I knew what I had done was dishonest, but the allure of escape had been too strong to resist. I spent the first day of my injury lounging on the couch, binge-watching Netflix and trying to ignore the nagging feeling of guilt. As the days stretched into a week, the guilt intensified. I avoided calls from coworkers and dodged questions from friends about my sudden injury. The weight of my deception hung heavy on my shoulders, overshadowing any enjoyment I derived from my time off. On the fourth day of my injury, I received an unexpected visit from my neighbor, Emily. She had always been perceptive, and I knew she could see right through my facade. "Jonah, I heard from Sarah about your injury," Emily said gently as she handed me a plate of cookies. "Is everything okay?" I sighed, feeling a lump form in my throat. I faked it," I admitted reluctantly. "I needed a break from work, and I didn't know how else to get it." Emily listened quietly, her expression filled with empathy. "It's okay to feel overwhelmed," she said softly. "But lying isn't the answer. You need to be honest with yourself and with others." Her words struck a chord within me. I realized that my desperate attempt to escape had only led to more stress and guilt. I thanked Emily for her honesty and promised to come clean about my deception. The next morning, I mustered the courage to call Sarah and request a meeting. As I walked into her office, my heart pounded in my chest. I took a deep breath and confessed everything, from the staged accident to the days spent pretending to recover. Sarah listened silently, her expression unreadable. When I finished, she sighed and leaned back in her chair. "Jonah, I appreciate your honesty," she said finally. "But this is a serious breach of trust. I'm going to have to discuss this with HR." I nodded, feeling a mix of relief and apprehension. I knew there would be consequences for my actions, but I also felt a strange sense of liberation. By coming clean, I was taking responsibility for my mistakes and facing the consequences head-on. The following days were filled with anxiety as I waited for the outcome of the HR investigation. I couldn't sleep or eat, consumed by worry and regret. Finally, I received a call from HR requesting a meeting. The HR manager, Mr. Thompson, sat across from me, his expression serious. "Jonah, after reviewing your case, we've decided to issue a formal warning," he said sternly. "Faking an injury is a serious offense, and any further incidents will result in termination. Do you understand?" I nodded, my throat tight with emotion. "Yes, I understand," I replied quietly. Mr. Thompson regarded me for a moment before continuing. "However, I want you to know that we value your contributions to the team. We believe you've learned from this experience, and we're willing to give you a second chance." I thanked Mr. Thompson profusely, feeling a rush of relief wash over me. I promised to prove myself and regain the trust one had lost. Returning to work was daunting, but I faced it with renewed determination. I focused on rebuilding my reputation, working harder than ever to show my dedication and reliability. I volunteered for extra projects, stayed late to help teammates, and never missed a deadline. Over time, my efforts paid off. I earned back the respect of my coworkers and regained my confidence in my abilities. I also learned valuable lessons about honesty, integrity, and the importance of facing challenges head-on. As I reflect on my journey, I am grateful for the second chance I was given. I've since moved on to a new role within the company, one that challenges me and allows me to grow professionally. I've also made a commitment to prioritize my mental health and seek support when I need it. The experience taught me that there are no shortcuts in life. Honesty and integrity are crucial, even when facing difficult circumstances. I am determined to live by these principles and continue striving for personal and professional growth. Today, I am grateful for the lessons learned and the opportunities that lie ahead. I've come a long way from the person who faked an injury to escape work. I am stronger, wiser, and more resilient because of it. And as I look towards the future, I am hopeful for what lies ahead. I know that challenges will come, but I am confident in my ability to face them with honesty, integrity, and a renewed sense of purpose.